My name is Bernice. These are some JavaScript question and answers interview practice, and I will just be reading these. What is JavaScript? JavaScript is a programming language and core technology of the web platform. It works with HTML and CSS. So HTML gives the structure and content. CSS gives the styling, and then JavaScript makes it dynamic and you can interact with it. And so 99% of websites in the world use JavaScript on the client side for web page behavior. And web browsers have a dedicated JavaScript engine that executes the client code. These engines are also utilized on some servers and in a variety of apps. The most popular runtime system for non-browser usage is Node. What is the DOM, the Document Object Model? It's the fundamental concept in web development. It's a programmatic representation of HTML or XML document. So most of the time for the web page it's HTML, and it allows programming languages like JavaScript to access, manipulate, and update the content, structure, and style of a web page dynamically. It's like a tree-like structure of the page where every HTML element, attribute, and text node is a node in the tree. How do you manipulate the DOM? In manipulating the document object model is one of the most common tasks in web development. It allows you to dynamically change the content, structure, or style of a web page using JavaScript. You can manipulate the DOM with JavaScript using methods like document.getElementById, document.query selector, using .inner HTML to change content, .style, .setAttribute, and .append child. What are the JavaScript data types? The primitive types are immutable, string, number, boolean, undefined, null, big int, and symbol. Object types include the complex object, array, and function. What is the use of isNan, is not a number function? The is not a number checks if a value is not a number. So if it returns true, if the value cannot be converted to a valid number, and it returns false if the value is a valid number. What are the undeclared and undefined variables? Undeclared and undefined variables are two different concepts. Understanding it is important for debugging and writing correct code. Undeclared variables are variables that have not been declared in the code using var, let, or const. And when you access an undeclared variable, it throws a reference error. Undefined variables are variables that have been declared but not yet assigned a value. So the accessing it does not throw an error. Its value is automatically undefined. How can you add new elements dynamically? In JavaScript, you can add new elements dynamically to the DOM using methods like createElement, append child, insert before, or inner HTML. How can you use functions? In JavaScript, functions are blocks of code designed to perform a task and can be reused multiple times. There are different types of functions and multiple ways to define them. There's a function declaration, function expression, arrow, anonymous, and iffy. What is hoisting? Hoisting in JavaScript behavior. It's a JavaScript behavior where variable and function declarations are moved to the top of their containing scope during the compilation while it's compiling phase before the code is executed. This allows you to use variables and functions before they are declared, with some caveats. Key points, it moves the declarations, not the initializations. So function declarations are fully hoisted. Function expressions are partially hoisted, only the variable name. Var is hoisted but initialized with undefined. Let and const are hoisted but cannot be accessed before the declaration. What are the new features of ES6? There are several different features. Let and const declarations for let for block scope and const for block scope constants. Arrow functions that are shorter syntax for functions. Template literals using the backticks for strings. There's default parameters, rest and spread operators, destructuring. There's enhanced object literals, promises, iterators, and the for loop, map and set, symbols, and block scoping and lexic. What are the scopes in JavaScript? Their scope determines the accessibility of variables, functions, and objects in different parts of your code. Understanding scopes is crucial for avoiding variable collisions and managing memory. The global scope, there's a function or local scope, block scope, lexical, static scope. What are global variables and how are these variables declared? What problems are associated with them? Global variables in JavaScript are variables that are accessible from anywhere in your code, including inside functions and blocks. They exist in the global scope, which is the top level scope of the script or window object in browsers. You can use var outside of a function using let or const outside of a function or implicitly, which is not recommended. It's better to use strict. Then problems associated with global variables, name collisions, multiple scripts or functions can accidentally overwrite the same global variable. They're harder to debug and maintain. Best practice is minimize the use of global variables. Explain the working timers in JavaScript. Types of timers set timeouts. It exceeds a function once after a specified delay in milliseconds. Set interval executes a function repeatedly at specified interval. Set immediate, that's Node.js only, and request animation. Timer functions are registered in the browser or Node.js environment, and after the delay, the function is added to the message queue. The event loop picks it up when the call stack is empty, and therefore timers do not guarantee exact timing. The delay is minimum time, not precise. What is equal, equal, equal versus equal, equal operators? Yeah, the equal, equal, equal is a strict equality. The strict equality operator in equal equals is loose equality, so it's better to use strict equality. It compares both the value and the type, whereas just the loose equality just compares values and not the type. What is type coercion? You can do implicit or explicit type conversion. It can convert between different types of variables, like a string to a number or to a Boolean. You can do different, change the type of it. Explain how you can submit a form using JavaScript. In JavaScript, you can submit a form by several ways using the submit method and using onSubmit event with JavaScript, and then using Ajax and Fetch API. What are some common JavaScript events? There are some of them are mouse events, keyboard events, form events, and window events. An undefined value. What is an undefined value in JavaScript? It is a value that represents a variable that has been declared but not assigned a value yet. Can you add more than one document.ready function in a page? Yes, you can, and more than one $document.ready function in a single page when using jQuery. What are 4 parameters used for jQuery Ajax method? The jQuery Ajax method is a powerful way to perform asynchronous HTTP requests in jQuery. It can take many parameters. The 4 most common ones are listed there. Let's see, what is Ajax? Ajax stands for Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. It is a technique used by web development to send and receive data from a server asynchronously without reloading the entire web page. What are the advantages of Ajax? Ajax, asynchronous JavaScript and XML, provides several advantages in web development because it allows web pages to communicate with the server without reloading the entire page. It's faster and more responsive user experience, reduced bandwidth usage, and improved interactivity. It can fetch the data from the server in the background, keeping the user interface active. It's a better user experience, platform and language independence. What are the disadvantages of Ajax? It brings several advantages, but has some drawbacks: SEO challenges, browser compatibility, complexity, the security concerns for potential cross-site scripting, cross-site request forgery, browser history issues, and dependency on JavaScript. What are, let's see, that's a tip. They can be mitigated using progressive enhancement, server-side rendering, and modern frameworks that handle Ajax effectively. What are the controls of Ajax? In modern web development, Fetch and jQuery Ajax methods are the primary controls developers use for asynchronous communication, while the document object model events and callbacks control when and how the Ajax request executes. What are all the technologies used by Ajax? So JavaScript, XML, and it relies on multiple technologies that work done together. What is JSON? JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. It's a lightweight data interchange format that's easy for humans to read and write, easy for machines to parse and generate, and it's language independent. It's not just for JavaScript. That's it for this. I thank you and wish you good night, and I will see you soon.